Welcome to Kingdom Rock VBS Camp during 2012 at Burnaby Pacific Grace Church. Now, this is our main entrance. We have multiple animal kind of banners that represent significant, animals during the Middle Ages, or what group has provided us. So let's enter our main stage, our main court. So right here is our main doorway. We have a really cool metal gate so that you can enter through. And we have our theme crest of the lion for like strength and kind of just the main thing. So you can come right on in, come through the gates, here you go. So this is our main area. This side is for registration, for all the kids to come in, sign up. We have all our coloring contest here. And on this side is for our Kingdom crew to pick up their t-shirts, just like this one, nice and swaggy, tomorrow morning when they all get here. So, as we come down into our hall, we can see this great grand area, which is where all the kids will be singing and will be introduced to Kingdom Rock, and where they'll just have fun throughout the camp. So if we look at each individual group, you'll see that we start on this side actually, This side we start with Amethyst as our oldest group, onto Emerald, and then on this side we have Sapphire, and then down to Topaz, right over here, Topaz, and then Ruby, and last but not least, these two, one of my favorites, the youngest groups, are Pearl and Opal. Now Opal doesn't really look like this, but this is how we kind of interpret it for the little kids to really grasp their colorful sense. So the main stage where we'll have the Kingdom crew music leaders and also our coordinators to just introduce the children and talk to them and stuff will be on this stage. So now on the stage we have these lovely corridors where you can walk through and just interact with it completely, which we will be doing throughout the week. There are these really simple fire torches with duct tape that are supposedly metal awnings to make it look really medieval and ancient. Now as we move on, this is our theme for this year, so Kingdom Rock, and our theme statement is where kids stand strong for God. So this is where actually people can enter and exit, which the music team will be doing a lot. So if we actually step back out, and you can look at the banners in the very top, there's a K and an R, which stand for Kingdom Rock. So that's basically our main court area, inner court for the kids to just get ready for the day. So if you follow me, we go in toward the outer court. So this is the outer court hallway kind of thing. There's a nice entrance with flags to kind of show you that this is where we are. Of course, there weren't any exit signs in the Middle Ages, but we'll just ignore that. But on to this way. We have just some nice windows to show you what outside of the kingdom looks like. Lots of greenery, which we don't have a lot of nowadays with all the buildings and stuff, but basically that's what it is. And we have a little plump night here for just the little ones, the little kids to really be able to connect with the decorations. So they're not too tall, not too short, just perfect for them. Or kind of perfect. And then we just have a simple brick wall up here to get that sense of kingdom. And then another window that actually alludes to something in the outer court. So it's a waterfall with some nice greenery. So basically that's about it. So out into the outer court, we have a life-size chessboard where the children will be led into chess games after they're done their outdoor picnic with our crafts team, which is called King's Kitchen this year. So you can see there's just some simple decorations. It's one of our kingdom members. I don't remember his name, but he's probably one of our gardeners, one of the things. But we have simple stained glass windows made with plastic bags stuck together to give that really stained glass kind of translucent kind of feel. And then we just have balloons to get that feel of just the kingdom and just the happiness of it. So through this is our entrance into the outer eating area where the kings and queens would have had their picnics and stuff. These are our no peanut signs, so like it's their allergies, they're okay. So you can just pass through these doors, or these arches to come into our outer court eating area. This is where King's Kitchen will happen. King's Kitchen is actually right around this way, where all the food will be prepared by our lovely kitchen staff. King's Kitchen, wonderful. For all our tours, we did a simple, just rock framing with wood-stained paper. Very simple. Now onto one of my favorite parts of this room. It's just our makeshift waterfall fountain. Now the water, as I said before, is actually from the waterfall that we saw outside earlier. So you can see this is just cardboard painted with rock, actually with sponges, made into circular formations that create kind of that rock feel. It's a little darker than these ones, because these ones are the rocks that have been washed by the water, and then these ones are just the ones on the edge and the outside that are a little more dirty kind of thing. So we're gonna meet actually, now this is a really cool part of the outer court, is our vines, which also has this nice beige eggshell satin, which kind of gives us that elegant kind of feel where the kids will just feel like they're in the kingdom kind of thing. So our tables are set really, really simple. We just have a flower centerpiece with some jewels on it to just allude to each group and their gemstones. We have some nice lace with red, because red is our theme color, as you can see with my shirt. Red, purple as a royal color, and red again for just that unity with this group. If you come over here, you'll meet another one of our kingdom staff. She is our kitchen maidens. Well, I don't know what she'll do, but she'll probably do something later on during the day. But let's head downstairs and just check out all the other stations. So if you've already taken notice, throughout the church, there are little accents which kind of give that castle feel. So there's actually two different types of torches. These are just really simple toilet roll torches. These don't have that metal kind of awning on it because it's a little more simple and it's not that significant. These are a little more intricate with a coffee cup and then just some black paper to make it look like a really significant torch. So, going down the hallway, you'll see that down the stairs, there are these very nice kingdom, just bottom decorative pieces, which has each of our theme animals. So, this is Sir Valiant, our lion. We have Victoria the fox. Oh, that's it on this one. And then if you look onto this side, there's Duke the horse, Truman, and again, that's it on this one. Actually, yeah, that's it for these tablecloth that have been cut up into just decorative pieces. So what happened was we bought a whole tablecloth and we figured that if we just cut them on the bottom, we can use them in this very interesting but capturing way to just get the children's attention. So if we continue walking down, you can see again just the decorative pieces with more stained glass windows just in the hall. These are kind of wonky, but I mean everything was a little wonky in the Middle Ages, right? So now down to our fun stations. Now actually we're going to go this way first, then we're going to check out that side. So this way is just our little hallway into Kingdom Tales. Now we have just these simple paper painted banners just to give that kingdom feel that we're going into something different. Now these are just brown tape to give that hint of wood, but not really wood. But yeah, so on to Kingdom Tales. Now on the door before Kingdom Tales, we have this really nice woodwork, quote unquote, made by cardboard painted gold that is a cross, which is really significant and really simple and beautiful in a way. So little things like this we recommend are really good. So coming into Kingdom Tales is pretty simple. It's not that crazy this year. Once again, you see our animal banners, but this time they're in a different shape. They're in triangles, they're different. They have double sides, and then once again our torches to give it that just kind of feel. Now, these aren't done yet, but tomorrow morning when our Kingdom crew start to arrive, they're gonna actually build a campfire. Well, not really a campfire, but like a bonfire kind of thing, but with no actual fire. Just on the floor for their story time. And you can see we have 2 jousting horses here on the wall. Now, why you ask, why aren't they jousting the same way? Well, originally, I actually did it wrong because I was really tired. But I thought of a really good explanation. Because in church, when we learn about God's kingdom and God's purpose for us in our lives, is that when we are trying to spread the gospel and trying to really make a difference, we're doing it together. We're not fighting each other. We're doing it out of love. So it's just perfect that the jousting horses are jousting one way into just the world kind of thing. So this is our very beautiful Kingdom Tale sign. Now this one is actually really nice. This one was actually done by a group of uncles and some really good techniques that they've used with just a simple paintbrush, brown paint, black paint to make that wood stain that's really different from the doors, which I really love. And then also that kind of wood carving style, but painted with gold. And once again, you see that simple cross. So it has kind of a connection between the door and this sign. Now, to end off in this room, we have these simple banners that I call them our gospel banners. And they're just simple little messages like ask, seek, knock, my body was broken for you. He is not here, he is risen. Very simple messages that children will get. And the last one, I will make you fishers of men. So these ones don't exactly connect with our VBS this year, but they're just simple messages that children will be able to connect with what they learn in class. So let's move on to the other stations. So, like any other year, we split up our craft stations. Now, craft stations this year is actually called Imagination Station, and you'll see that sign later on. But this is our first Imagination Station room, and it's just very simple with tablecloth cut up into shapes that were medieval style banners kind of thing. Layered into different colors, very simple. There's multicolored banners. Actually, these banners turned out to be a lot like cultural flags, I realized. I didn't plan for that, but that's what happened. Now, and then once again, you see stained glass windows, just to give it that, maybe we're not so trapped into a room kind of feel. It's like there's still something more about this. Once again, another shield, and then just more tablecloth. And then our stained glass, our wood stained door, which is, you can tell again, it's a very different style from the sign, which is very good because we want to have that variety, even though things are the same. Now, once again, coming down this hall, we have very nicely decorated the top, the roof of the hall with just streamers to give it that that elegant and royal feeling of just walking down a great hall in the castle. And here we have once again our animal banners that we're seeing in the entrance of our Kingdom Rock. Now, on the wall, we have these really small decorative pieces, which are middle-aged kind of ink paintings that were actually scratched in with ink into the paper. Now, there's multiple ones along the wall. Just simple. They're not too high, not too low, so children can really connect with them, take time to look at them, and just really understand what's happening. So just this stuff. And right along here is our Imagination Station sign. It's very imaginative in its really different ways. See, we have a problem with our decorations every year. That decorations kind of fall down even before we get here in the morning. But it's holding up okay, one letter down, so that's a good record. So let's check out our second imagination station room. Now our second imagination station room is kind of musical, kind of crafty in a way. It's very interesting. On here, we actually duplicated the animal banners and made them into animal shields. And how we did this is we took foam and we asked children actually to cut little pieces to make out the shape of the animals. Some of the adults actually got lazy and just did full pieces, but it's the same thing. It looks really cool and really interesting. So it's just cardboard with dry pastels over it, and then just wiped around with a tissue to give it that wood kind of feeling. Now, why is it kind of musical in this room? There are some drums right here that are all connected together. And then, if you look on the other side of the room, there are musical banners where there's a violin, I'm guessing, a harp, some tambourines, some bells. Just give it that decorative piece. And then our mini kingdom here, which was actually very generously given to us by another church. Our mini kingdom here, very generously given to us by another church. And what we did was really simply, we just took green tablecloth, laid it over our storage unit to make it look like a grass hill, and the kingdom's just there. So, I mean, this room you kind of feel like you really have to imagine where you are. There's no really setting place in the castle, so you just have to take your time and understand and imagine it yourself. But let's go check out the preschool room. So on to our last room. Oh, see what I said. So one of our knights has fallen asleep early in the night because he's really tired. He's gonna get ready to watch over the preschool kids for us in the morning. And so with these rocks, but that's okay. So, into our preschool room. Our concept for this room is actually you've exited the kingdom and you are in the town. So, there are little windows where you can look into the castle, or into the castle, I guess. And there's some castle members inside the windows looking out at you as children. And then once again, we use green tablecloth to make it that kind of that grassy feeling in a way, not really, somewhat in that way. Here's our pond in the middle of the town, where children will sit down, listen to stories. We just have 3 simple little swans, just to get that pond feeling. Now if you look up onto the roof, you'll be able to see there is a streamer hoop that extends around to the whole room. Now this really gives that playfulness of the preschool room and just the fun atmosphere that we're trying to exude to the children in church. So it's just very simple. Streamers are looped over the hoop. This hoop is actually from IKEA, which originally was supposed to hold up a mosquito net, but I took it down and just used it for this. Perfect. So that's our preschool room, and that concludes our decorations tour. But yeah, so we're just gonna go upstairs. I'm just gonna check out some last stuff. Oh, whoops, I just sort of. So every year when we're done decorations, we like to just double check everything and then turn off all the lights and just get ready to leave. So this is Kingdom Rock for you for 2013. So bye-bye for now, and we'll see you maybe next year for our next VBS. Thank you for joining us.